Right, buckle up, political enthusiasts, because while you were likely scrolling through TikTok, pondering if that avocado toast was truly worth £12, the Middle East very nearly erupted into a full-scale conflagration. And no, I'm not talking about the delightful sort with sparklers and overpriced hot dogs. Israel recently launched what could only be described as the military equivalent of a strongly worded letter, albeit one accompanied by actual explosions. Meanwhile, Iran's supreme leader is scattering threats like confetti at a divorce party. And who, you might ask, is stuck in the middle, attempting to be the grown-up in the room? That's right, Sir Keir Starmer, arguably Britain's most sensible man since the invention of queuing. Welcome back to Alert View, where we dissect the political chaos so you don't have to. I'm your host, and today, we're delving into why our Prime Minister might just be the last adult left in international politics. Spoiler alert, it involves a certain orange-tinted former president who seemingly gleaned his diplomatic skills from a Twitter comment section. But first, let's address what actually transpired, because the news cycle moves faster than Boris Johnson fleeing a Partygate inquiry. So, Israel decided to go full hold my beer and launched widespread attacks on Iranian targets, asserting they were striking nuclear and military sites. Now, I'm no military strategist, I can barely beat my nephew at risk, but when you're lobbing missiles at a nation whose supreme leader has already promised severe retribution, you might want to reconsider your life choices. It's akin to poking a hornet's nest, except these hornets are armed with uranium and a serious chip on their shoulder. Iran's response was as predictable as a Jeremy Clarkson controversy, swift, loud, and guaranteed to make everyone thoroughly uncomfortable. Enter stage left, Sir Keir Starmer, looking like the only person at the party who remembered to bring a designated driver. Our Prime Minister has done something absolutely revolutionary in modern politics, he's called for calm heads and actual conversation. I know, it's shocking behavior for 2025. Starmer has essentially articulated what your nan would say during a family squabble, right, everyone, sit down, we're talking this through like civilized people. And, you know what? He's absolutely spot on. The PM has grasped that getting Iran to relinquish nuclear weapons isn't going to materialize through a game of who can shout the loudest. It necessitates genuine diplomacy, a revolutionary concept, I'm aware. It's like trying to persuade your friend to abandon that dreadful haircut, you don't achieve it by setting their house ablaze. You do it through gentle persuasion and perhaps showcasing some before and after photographs. Starmer understands this, more violence benefits precisely no one. It doesn't assist the people in the region who simply wish to live their lives without dodging missiles, and it certainly doesn't help the global economy, which is already more fragile than a chocolate teapot. But just when you thought the adults were taking charge, guess who decided to crash the diplomatic party like a bull in a china shop made entirely of nuclear treaties? Donald Trump. Because, of course, it's Donald Trump. He's managed to exacerbate matters from across the Atlantic. The man possesses a talent for escalation that would bring a reality TV producer to tears of joy. He's been issuing threats about Iran and the nuclear deal as if he's auditioning for a remake of Dr. Strangelove. This is the same individual whose foreign policy record reads like a masterclass in how not to conduct international relations. Remember Afghanistan? That catastrophic withdrawal that returned the country to the Taliban faster than you could say, mission accomplished? That was Trump's brilliant decision coming home to roost during Biden's presidency. And don't even get me started on Ukraine. Trump has been peddling the utterly nonsensical conspiracy theory that Ukraine somehow initiated a war with Russia. That's like asserting the victim of a mugging started a fight by having the audacity to own a wallet. Russia invaded Ukraine. End of story. Full stop. No debate needed. So, here we have it, folks, a perfect case study in leadership styles. On one side, we have Starmer, measured, sensible, advocating for dialogue like a proper statesman. On the other side, we have Trump, firing off threats on social media as if he's in a Twitter spat with a teenager. It's like comparing a chess grandmaster to someone who's just discovered the pieces can move and believes the solution to every problem is flipping the board. The tragic irony is that Trump could actually help bring stability to the Middle East. He possesses the influence and, theoretically, the platform. But that would necessitate him doing something he has never done in his political career: think before he speaks. It would mean treating international diplomacy as actual diplomacy, rather than a WWE promo. Perhaps, just perhaps, he should cast his gaze across the pond to witness what real international leadership looks like. Hint, it's not conducted in all caps at 3 a.m. on Truth Social. Look, the situation in the Middle East is serious business, but it's also a perfect illustration of why we need leaders who can maintain their composure when under pressure. Starmer is demonstrating what grown-up politics entails, while others are still playing with toy soldiers. What are your thoughts? Is Starmer right to advocate for dialogue over drama, or do you believe there's a better approach to handling international crises? Share your opinions in the comments below, and please try to be more diplomatic than certain former presidents we could mention. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button if you desire more political breakdowns that won't lull you to sleep, and hit the notification bell, because, trust me, with this lot in charge, there will always be more chaos to unpack. Until next time, this has been Alert View, keeping you informed, entertained, and slightly less confused about the beautiful mess that is politics. Stay sharp, stay skeptical, and remember, sometimes, the most radical thing you can do is simply be reasonable.